I'm Paul Arevalo. I'm the city manager for the city of West Hollywood.
Oscar Delgado, Director of Public Works for the city of West Hollywood. Our department oversees parking. It's one of the divisions in there, as well as code compliance, engineering, and then last but not least, facilities and field services, which is managing all of the city's assets. So keeps us pretty busy in the department.
We have a smart city initiative for the city of West Hollywood. It includes technology and also innovative spaces for the community. So that's something that we're in the process of working on now.
The smart city is basically communicating all services and benefits of the city outside of the city. Where you can get access to whatever you want to do, any destination you want to visit, where you park your car, how you live and work. Whether it's Wi-Fi, whether it's an environment where you're bringing in innovative technologies into the city and EV charging stations on the street. It really is a kind of a one-stop shop. So while we're trying to make our city attractive to visitors, we're also trying to make our city attractive to businesses.
I would agree with what he said. It's not only about the Internet of Things and technology, it's also creating walkable, livable environments that create a scale that's accessible to the community and to the public.
The interesting thing with parking is we built quite a bit of commercial parking because we didn't have any. I think what we're starting to see now, and I love it, I love the dynamic that Uber is playing. Uber is reducing 40% of the need for parking in our city, actual parking spaces, because they don't stay in our city. They drop off our guests and then they leave. So what it's allowing us to do is think more creatively with respect to intensifying uses. So now we don't have to worry that, parking was always the driver. If you didn't have parking, you couldn't build your business. Well, if parking is no longer the elephant in the room, so to speak, it really is dynamic for cities that want to have a lot of restaurants, but they couldn't, they didn't have the parking for the restaurants. Well, now you do, right? Because the dynamic is that people are arriving in our city, but the cars aren't staying in our city.
And I think that the technology is also allowing us to look at our land use policies, and the old traditional model is for every square foot of development you're building, you have to have X number of parking spaces. Using technology now, we're able to do inventory of the existing parking that exists in the city and tap into that and make it a more valuable resource to people who own it while not having to expend money on the new projects and create new parking. It's not only the shared rides, whether it's Uber or Lyft in Los Angeles, but looking in West Hollywood, once you can start having self-driving vehicles, that is going to be the game changer. And the inventory of parking is going to change as we're looking now at models for future development, is to incorporate ideas that you want flexible development. So in 5, 10, 20, 30 years, that parking space can become something else. So these are some of the new challenges we're looking at.
In the next 5 to 10 years, I think the connectivity of people locating parking, using parking, but I mean, you're starting to see, we were just looking at parking meters. Parking meters now before it was just a revenue generator, and you had them in there because you wanted cars to turn over and you wanted to kind of curtail parking behavior. That's not the case anymore. Now you've got parking meters that are giving you real information about who's visiting your city, how long they're staying, what are the areas that they're going to, and that's where you're going to start to see it. I think the autonomous vehicle that Paul touched on is going to be a game changer because, again, now you're going to have an Uber-ish type, if there is such a word, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to have an Uber type experience. You're just not going to have a driver in it because Uber's done great for ride sharing. Autonomous vehicles are going to be a ride sharing modal.
Yeah,
people aren't going to own the cars.
Yeah, you're going to see that. I think the 5 to 10 year frame is going to be more of the new technology and more of what we have been doing, but we also need to plan for the next wave after that, because it's going to be a major drop off, a significant shift in terms of parking patterns and behavior. So whatever we're building now needs to be prepared to accommodate that future.